So I'm going to talk a little bit about Ohio Means Jobs. I said yesterday I almost hate to do this because Amy is so enthusiastic about it that it seems like she should be doing this because she's in love with Ohio Means Jobs. But I'm just going to spend a few minutes talking about it. If it pops. Here we go. So I saw the number of hands. So we do have a few people, it appears, who have never taken a look at Ohio Means Jobs. Ohio Means Jobs replaced the Ohio Career Information System. Ohio Means Jobs is free, unlike OCIS, which had a charge to schools attached with it. And the other nice thing about Ohio Means Jobs is that it's on the web. So a student can do the work at home, they can do the work at school, on their phone, on their iPad, whatever device they choose to use to access it. And if you have a student with a disability, they can get help at home from siblings or parents, so that's also a nice added benefit to it. And then finally, the student can take it with them. So when they exit school, they can still access it and use it to develop resumes and materials for college. They can use it to develop resumes and materials for a job. So it can stay with them for the next 15 years, next 20 years, whatever. And since it directly connects to the entire employment system in Ohio, they can use it to look for jobs in Ohio. So we're just going to take a few minutes to go through some of the basics. Now, this is the main site for Ohio Means Jobs. If Owen has a diploma cap on, then that's an indication that you're in the K-12 site. If there's some, obviously, little veterans in his military attire, and if he's just blank like this, and that's an indication that you're in the main site. So we'll go first to the K-12 site. And you can see over here that here's the career cluster inventory. You can develop resumes. It has education and training, from which you get the assessments. So, a lot of people pay to take sample tests and those type things. The students can get this for free. Access to the SAT, the PSAT, Compass, which is the one most commonly used for two-year associate degrees. They can get used to access to WorkKeys practice tests if they are going the WorkKeys diploma route with an industry certification. Then they may want to get access to WorkKeys, or if you work with any adult programs, they use WorkKeys, ASVAB. So all of these are different practice exams or the ASVAB exam itself for the student to take. And that's just a nice piece. They have to pay no extra money for that. So again, that's in the assessments and training section of the Planet piece. But if you teach personal finance, and I know some of you probably do, there's a budget tool in here, budgeting for your career, that helps them look at budgets and rent and all of those different things available for them. Helps them look at financial aid and scholarship opportunities across Ohio. So, lots of dollars are never applied for in terms of scholarships. So you should always encourage your students to apply for as many as they possibly can. And then there's a whole piece on finding jobs. If you scroll down, before I forget, I want to do this. Amy mentioned applications. If you're looking for online applications the students can practice with, this has the online applications piece. So it has regular job applications, but it also has online applications. Sometimes it's harder to find those. Online portfolio materials, your students can store their digital badges here. All of those types of things. Create their cover letters here for all the different jobs that they apply for. And then if you go back up to just one other thing, and we'll do the condensed version. If you go to the main Ohio Means Jobs site, actually two things. In-demand careers, naturally the first one up is accounting, yes. So these are all in-demand careers in Ohio. So when you're trying to justify why is your program important or why is this course important or those types of things, this tells you that and it helps you to look for jobs, but it tells you that these are in-demand careers, and there are just a lot of in-demand careers in business, marketing, and finance. And as you scroll down, cost estimators, credit analysts, you can see financial managers, financial analysts, so lots of things that relate to the accounting career area that are all in-demand occupations. So I actually take this and either highlight it. I highlighted it for my boss, but you can highlight it or you can type up the ones specific to your program, hand it to your administrator, talk about why these careers are important, why your program is important for students. And there's all kinds of information here about average pay and those types of things. Then you can do an occupational search. You can search by industry. That's the broad career field area, so finance and insurance. You can search by occupation, and that's what we're going to do. So that gives you the average salary. There we go. That tells you, you used to have to look at 3 or 4 different resources to find this. It gives you all the work activities, the skills, the average pay rate, the top 10%, the bottom 10%, to give the kids an idea of what they can expect. So lots of good information. You can search for, like I said, actual Ohio jobs. As part of this process. It's a nice piece. Take 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, familiarize yourself with the big areas that your students will be using as they do different employability pieces. It's definitely worth it.
Hey, can I ask a question? Mm-hmm. I ask a lot of my instructors or other schools, you know, do you take advantage of Ohio Means Jobs? And the answer I keep getting is we use Naviance. But Naviance doesn't have all of the job connections that you were just talking about, ACT, SAT prep, or does it? I'm not as familiar with what it can and can't do with
that one at all. I've not even heard the name, so I don't know.
It's big bucks, but a lot of it is you can apply to college right online through that. Your transcripts can be sent electronically. So a lot of districts that pay a lot of money to have that, but I don't know if they're totally abandoning this and using Naviance for the other reasons. Does anybody use it and know?
And that's basically what it is for.
Okay.
For the applying for the colleges and.
But it doesn't connect to the Compass ACT Work Keys practice
or to Ohio
or
Jobs.
the Ohio Jobs, does it?
I mean, there are actually Ohio jobs in this system. You could go and search for all accounting jobs in Ohio today.
I'm going to make sure to take what you're sharing because I wasn't aware of that either, and make sure that they know that so they can utilize both. If Naviance is doing things that this isn't doing, that's great, but not to completely abandon it.
And some of them only use national statistics, so you only find growth rate and salary range for at the national level, not at the state level. So that would be part of it too. All right, and then Amy mentioned the career pathways. These have been up for a while, but they're great. Great for marketing your program when they pop up. And I'm going to go directly down to the finance area. You notice they have a whole piece, different ones in business administration, but I'm going to finance. I'm going to accounting. There are 2 versions. With the PowerPoint version, you can make changes. So you can change anything on the document, and that's nice. Amy was talking about having your students do their own, and that's easy enough with this system. All you have to do is hit enable editing, and they can change anything on the system with the PowerPoint. But you see and this is not the only pathway. It doesn't necessarily work this way in every company, but that being said, it tells you bookkeeper coming out of high school, you know, what would it cost them to train if they weren't getting their accounting training in high school, $0 to $3,000. Then what does it cost to train for an associate's degree? And it gives you a a range of about $3,900 per year. And then what does it cost to train for a bachelor's degree? And that's an average of about $9,600 per year. And I always say, you know, and people need to look at growth rate and demand for an occupation, but they also need to look at what's this pay scale. Because there's a real question mark if you're going to Harvard to get an education degree so you can be a teacher. Because you're going to pay how much to go to Harvard? $30,000 a year. And you're going to make what as a beginning teacher? Shh, shh. Yes, that's what you're going to make as a beginning teacher. So there's definitely a question mark whether Harvard is the best investment for you, given the career that you have chosen. So I love teaching and I love teachers, so I don't mean that badly, but you do have to look at, you know, people want to be artists who go to these expensive places and then find out, well, gee, you know, I'm going to make $6 an hour or something. So, but this is nice. And then on the second page, all right, I'm not losing my mouse again today. Yesterday I lost my mouse. I told him over the years I've lost a lot of mice and I found them in my garage. There it is. So you can go in and you don't offer business foundation, so you can delete it and you can put in whatever you offer. Your students can do that if you want them to do their own. So when you hand this to a parent or to a student, you have exactly what your courses are and not what's just a generic. So it makes it very personalized for your school and for your program. And they have all kinds of these.